Pisces, what is up, y'all? How you doing? It's time for your weekly check-in. Time to see what's going on with you guys in the 4th week of July. So I do have just a couple of announcements to make, and I will make it as quick as I possibly can, okay? But first, if you're in need of a personal reading, you can find all the information on how to go about doing that in the description of this video. Okay? But tomorrow, July 19th, is going to be our next round of weekly live readings. And remember, they have gone back to the old school price of $22.22. You can pre-order anytime throughout the week. Right now, the list of pre-orders is pretty small. If you order now, you will be in the front of the line. Here's the big news, though, y'all. My courses are back up and running. My whole school is now fully functional again. I can't believe that. My amazing wife, divine life partner, and badass business partner, Leah, put it all together and built a whole new system. I don't know how the hell she did all that. That was a lot of stressful work, but it's all up and running now. So for those of you who got the bundle, what was that, 2 months ago? You already have everything, so you're good, you're straight. But for those of you new to my channel, I have a whole school of self-mastery, and I do one course a month. And right now, I know this is the middle of the month, so it was kind of weird timing because we didn't expect it to work out like this. For the last half of July, the course that I'm going to be running is the Beginner's Guide to Manifestation. The Beginner's Guide. If you are just starting out, you don't know anything, or if you've already fucking tried everything and nothing worked, and you're ready to just scrap everything you thought you knew and start fresh, this is a really good place to start. So the link is in the description. That's going to be available for the rest of July. August 1st, it goes bye-bye. Okay? All right, let's jump into this. Let's see what's happening with Pisces and your situation and the person you're dealing with in the 4th week of July. What's happening with Pisces, man? July, week 4. Woohoo! Fool card, though. Looking like somebody about to come forward. I don't want to get too ahead of myself here. Hang on just a second. It's looking like it, though. Let's get 3 shuffled. Here's 1, 2, and 3. Judgment. Oh, okay. Okay, well, this is interesting. Okay. So I do think y'all are reconnecting. I do think y'all are reconnecting. That's definitely somebody coming forward. That's a reconnection happening right there. But here's the funny thing. I don't know if you're expecting this or not, but it ain't gonna take long for you to realize that the connection is just not there anymore. It's just not there anymore. And I think this is going to be just something that kind of happens by default. You let it go and release it. Completely let it go and release it. Even if you don't mean to, even if 5 minutes before it happens, you don't think you'll ever be able to let go of this. A 5-minute conversation with this person, and you'll be like, okay. Yeah, there's no connection there anymore. And you're releasing it. I didn't expect that. That wasn't what I expected to see come through. Okay, some of you dealing with a Scorpio. I also have Aries, Leo, Gemini, and that's it. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. All right, well, let's see how they feel about you. How do they see you? How do they feel about you? What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Boom. Four of Wands reversed. Well, Nine of Swords reversed. See Death reversed. I think they're just curious to see. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're 100% sure if they want a full-on reconciliation or if they're just curious to see where you stand and how you feel. This looks like one of those things that's just been looming heavy, like a dark cloud over their head. And they're just curious. Isn't that what came through last time? I could have swore I said that to one of the signs a week or two ago. I think it was you. And yeah, saying they're curious. They're, you know, when something happens that kind of leaves that energy lingering and weighing on you, and it just kind of lives in your head, and some time passes and it just still lives in your head, you know, and you're moving past it, but it still lives in your head and you're just curious. You just want to revisit it. It just bothers you, you know. It's the best way I can think to describe that. Could be a Scorpio for some of you. Also have Leo, Taurus. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. All right. Well, that's some confusing intentions. I mean, yeah, that's about all I can get out of that. Let's, well, we kind of got the outcome there, didn't we? That first spread sounded very outcome-y. Let's just get the advice. What's the advices for Pisces? Advices for Pisces. Six of Wands reversed. I think I told you this too. So, there are some situations that trying to give too much advice, trying to take too much control of the situation, could do more harm than good. I would say the only thing I think I can say about this is don't fight the process. Don't fight the process. Let it flow the way it's naturally wanting to flow. This has to play out the way it's going to play out. And the best thing you can do is just let it play out. Don't let your thoughts get the best of you. Don't fall into that, oh, what if this, what if that, and try to take control of things. You know, don't let no fear and anxiety get the best of you. Let it unfold and flow the way it wants to unfold and flow. Because you're being prepared for something bigger and better. And y'all know I'm going to tell you every single time, you cannot attract different while you're vibrating the same. You want to attract different, you have to vibrate different. In order to vibrate different, old energy has to be cleared out. Energy does not just go away if you sit and wait. No, it does not. I wish I could find the person that came up with that phrase, time heals all wounds. I don't know who that was, but that person's a fucking idiot. That's one of the dumbest fucking things anybody's ever said. Time does not heal wounds. What time does is time allows you to become comfortable with it. Time allows you to start identifying with it. Time just allows a wound or an energy to basically become part of you. Once it becomes part of you, you don't even realize it's there. If there were no such thing as mirrors, you wouldn't even know you have fucking ears because they're part of you. You know, you don't even think about it. You don't even realize that they're there. Similarly, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It only changes form. You have to make it change form. Or something has to make it change form, but ultimately it has to be you. So it ain't uncommon for the universe to put you through a situation that will trigger you to clear that energy. So, yeah. All right, okay. Let's shift gears now. Let's see what's going on with your love interest. What's happening with Pisces and the person they're interested in, universe? July week 4. What's happening? Oh. Ooh, some of y'all interested in somebody at the workplace, possibly. 3 shuffles. 1, 2. Last one. Four of Swords. Oh, shit. Tower. Seven of Swords reversed. This kind of feels like you're catching this person in a lie. You're either catching them in a lie or you're finding something out about them that's like sketchy and shady. Could be, I mean, it may be hard to generalize because there's so many of you, and it may be just so different that I can't generalize it. But yeah, somehow, some way, shape, form, or fashion, I think you're finding out that they are not who you thought they were. Okay. All right, well, let me look at their energy, their feelings, and their intentions. How do they see you? How do they feel about you? What are their thoughts, feelings, and opinions, hopes, dreams, and expectations? Ace of Cups reversed. Well, they're not what I would like to call overflowing with love and emotion. 3 shuffles. 1, 2, and 3. Ace of Swords. Death reverse. Why has that always got to come out? That's a past person. So there's very heavy past energy in their energy, and they got their guard up. I think they're interested in you. There is an interest, but there's somebody from their past that I think owns every square inch of fucking real estate in their head. You know? And, I mean, that's up to you as to whether or not you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, but, when somebody is living with that kind of energy and they're going around, connecting with other people and meeting other people and whatnot, it's really, 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 really hard to be who you actually are. Be your true self. Be your true, authentic self. It's really hard. It's almost impossible. So I'm not saying that they aren't a lying, deceitful fuckbag. I mean, I think they do. I think that when it all comes down to it, they're hiding a whole other side of their personality from you. Okay? So after a while, where this is the tricky part about, being a reserved individual. Because if you want to be a reserved, private, introverted individual who keeps yourself to yourself, you better be careful who you're out there talking to and dealing with and messing with. Because eventually one or two things is going to happen. Either you're going to have to just completely withdraw yourself, or you're going to have to start lying to people. You're going to have to start lying to people. Because if you're out there intermingling with everybody and you don't want them to know who you really are, you got one or two choices. You either open up and let them know who you really are, or start blowing smoke up everybody's ass, So, yeah, okay, well, I don't know how you would look at that. I guess that right there is all up for debate on whether or not their intentions are good or bad. It's all up for speculation. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I've been there. Now, when I was in this position, it wasn't coming from a bad place. The last time I was in this position, I wasn't setting out to play games or, lie or manipulate or anything like that. I was just very confused. I didn't know how to handle or deal with the situation. But does that give me a license to go doing stupid shit? No. So it's one of them things, man. It's one of them things where, like, if you're involved in a crime and you didn't mean to, but, you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, hey, you might have a consequence you have to pay. So, damn, okay. Some of y'all dealing with a Scorpio. Also have Gemini, Taurus, and Cancer here. Let's get to the advice. Let's get to the advice. Advice for Pisces. Advice for Pisces. Boom, boom. What is the best advice? Ace of Wands, then. Well, okay. I'm going to give a little speech I haven't given in a while. OG followers, you've probably heard me say a lot of this before. But this is some important stuff to think about. One of our biggest issues is we can very easily get in our own way and sabotage ourselves with our own expectations. Thank you, Classic Movies and Radio Shows, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you. When you connect with somebody, you immediately paint a picture in your mind of who you think that person is. It's the way we operate. We all do that. You're doing it to me right now. Right now, there's about 200 people watching. So that's 200 different versions of me that exist in 200 different heads right now, right? Now, when you want to get real close to somebody and bring somebody into your life, then that's when the picture that you're painting in your mind starts to become very, very important. If you are dealing with an honest, loyal, respectable, dependable person of respect and integrity, ideally, the picture that you're painting in your mind should be relatively close to who this person actually is. I'm not saying you're going to know them like the back of your head, but, you know, there shouldn't be any crazy puzzle pieces that don't fit, you know? But if you're dealing with a dishonest, secretive, or lying, manipulative, backstabbing little shitbag, or just a fucking person that's just not very honest, eventually, could be sooner, it could be later, but eventually, you're going to be handed evidence that proves that this person is not who you thought they were. And the ego hates that. It's painful. It's never a fun process. Never a fun process. When you see someone's true colors, do not try to repaint them. Don't try to repaint them. I know how it feels. It happened to me about a year ago or so. I had somebody in my life. I don't know though. I didn't spend that much time around this person. I was around them maybe once a week, you know? So when you don't spend that much time around somebody, it's easy for them to blow smoke up your ass and whatnot. But like with a relationship, if this is somebody you're like trying to date, if you're consistently talking to, seeing someone, hanging out with them like every single day, it ain't gonna take long before them true colors bubble up to the surface. And then when that happens, the first thing the ego is going to try to do is fight to desperately try to justify the picture it painted. Don't do that. When somebody shows you who they really are, accept it. Accept it. The quicker you can teach the ego that nothing is going to happen if you're wrong. We're humans. We're wrong sometimes, you know? The ego hates it. It doesn't want to be wrong. You know why the ego is so scared of being wrong about something like that? Because on an unconscious level, it used the exact same thought process to paint that picture that it used to paint the picture of everything in its past. And on one level, it's scared. If I have to rethink this, I'm going to have to rethink every fucking thing. My whole life could be a lie. My entire identity could be invalid. On one level. It's usually an unconscious level, but that's what the ego's scared of. Teach the ego that it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. I know, it's kind of embarrassing, makes you feel stupid. You know, like I said, last time it happened to me, I thought I'd known the person over a year. And in the snap of a finger, I saw that they were not who I thought they were. Snap of a finger. I was like, whoa. So that's who the fuck you are. Okay. All right. Poof. Don't fight to try to control it. When you see it, accept it. And I'm not saying that, you know, it gets to a point to where it's easy, but it gets easier. It's always going to be hurtful. It's always going to be painful when you see that somebody has misled you into thinking that they are somebody that they're not. But it gets easier to deal with. The more you teach the ego that it's okay to be wrong, nothing bad's going to happen, you're not going to die, you're not going to have to rebuild your personality, you're not going to have to rethink your whole worldview, it's okay. you know. All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Pisces family needed to hear. So I am going to go ahead and end this video here. I have some announcements to make. This is for those of you just now tuning in live. I said this at the beginning of the video. First of all, don't forget the information for personal readings is in the description. There's my website link, tarotwithrich.com. Tomorrow, July 19th, Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific time is going to be our next round of weekly live readings. The weekly live readings have officially gone back down to the old school price of $22.22, and they will remain at that price from this point moving forward. You can pre-order on my website. The list of pre-orders is small right now. So if you order now, you will be in the front of the line. We read them in order of which they come in. The big news, though, I got some big news. My amazing, lovely wife, divine life partner, and badass business partner, Leah, got my courses back up and running on a whole new system. I don't know how the hell she did that. That was a lot of stressful work over the past couple of months, but they're back up and running. For those of you who bought the bundle, you're all good. Okay, my new one hasn't come out yet. I'm still working on that. But for those of you new to my channel, I do have a school, a whole school of self-mastery. And I put out one course per month. And since this happened weird, because this was all so unexpected and unplanned, I know it's in the middle of the month and that's kind of inconvenient, but for the last half of the month, the course that's going to be available on my website is the Beginner's Guide to Manifestation. So, for those of you who don't know me, that's the only thing I ever set out to learn. That's what I specialize in primarily. And yeah, so maybe if you're just now starting out, you don't really know anything about it, or hell, even if you have already tried every fucking thing and nothing has worked, and you're ready to wipe the slate clean, throw everything you thought you knew out the window and start over fresh, this will be a really good place to start, okay? The link is in the description. August 1st, it goes bye-bye. All right, y'all, I'm out of here now. I'll see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.